Hello everyone, well here we are at the start of the 24-25 season in the elite leagues around Europe, and this clip is just to take in the week 1 matches scheduled for the La Liga, and they've decided to start them on Thursday the 15th of August and run them through 5 consecutive days until Monday, with 2 fixtures scheduled on each day. So just to keep us all on our toes, they've split them up that way. And again, there'll be the usual suspects near the top, I'm sure, and 1 or 2 perhaps earmarked to have a struggling season, but we shall see. Everyone's got a clean slate. They will start from the same start point, 0 points. So we shall see how it all pans out. So let's just go through what the fixtures are for this coming weekend and who's doing what. So on Thursday then, the first up is Athletic Club against Getafe. Athletic Club finished 5th, did extremely well last season. That's a good finish in this league for them. Getafe finished 12th, which may have been somewhat better had they not had a real disaster 5-match losing streak at the end of last season. So they'll want to certainly put that completely out of their minds as we start afresh in another new season. So I think Athletic Club will overcome them. They are the better side on paper, but we know that doesn't mean anything at all. So I'm going to go Athletic Club 3, Getafe 0. Then we have on Thursday the second match is Real Betis against Girona, and Girona finishing 3rd last year. Really sort of battled among the big boys, really, very good. They'll be wanting to not let that standard slip this season if they can help it, and fly their flag again in the same way. So they want to get some points on the board early so that starts to be a realistic target once again. Real Betis finished 7th. Again, that's a good finish, and no disrespect there. So I think both sides will be happy to share the spoils here. I'm going to go Real Betis 1, Girona 1. That takes us on to Friday, where we have Celta Vigo against Deportivo Alaves, 2 solid mid-table sides from last season. I don't see that changing too much either way. There's a hardcore of teams in there in any league that will sort of occupy those middle spots, and I think these 2 are destined to do that again. So I'm going to take, I will take Deportivo just to sneak an away win. As I say, I've said before, being the away team is always a favoured way to go on first game up, when you're putting the pressure onto the home side to start the season well at home. So I think Deportivo will sneak this one by 2-1. So Celta Vigo 1, Deportivo Alaves 2. Second match on Friday is Las Palmas versus Sevilla. Las Palmas finished 16th last season, with Sevilla just above them in 14th, but I think there is a bigger gap than that between these 2 sides. I've tipped Las Palmas to be a real struggle this season for them, and maybe in the bottom 3 come next May. So I think Sevilla will get off to a good start here and take a 2-0 win and take the points with them. That takes us into the weekend, where we've got on the Saturday, the first up is Osasuna against Leganes. And Osasuna finished 11th, and Leganes, as I'm sure you all know, those who follow this, got promoted last season from a Liga 2. So I think they're going to find the going tough. And Osasuna, another good mid-table team, mid-table record, finished 11th last season. I think they will stamp their authority on Leganes and take the points and take a home win. And I'll go by 3-1. Then the second game on Saturday is Valencia against Barcelona. Now, obviously, Barcelona will be up amongst the favourites, of course, to be champions at the end of the season. I've got Valencia to improve on their 9th position from last season. So I think I'm going to they might just upset the odds a little bit and snatch a draw here in an entertaining game. I think most of the Spanish games are entertaining. They go for their stuff in Spain, don't they? And you don't really rarely find a dull match. So I'm going to go Valencia 2, Barcelona 2. Sticking Mach out a bit there. Barcelona will drop points first up, but I suppose if you're going to force their hand, first game is the time to perhaps do it when they're a bit ring rusty. We shall see. Second part of the Saturday-Sunday weekend then. On Sunday is the first game is on Sunday afternoon. Real Sociedad against Real Vallecano. And again, we've got 10th from last season against 17th. I think Real Vallecano will struggle again this season, and they will find themselves second best on the opening day, I think, to Real Sociedad, who had a respectable 6th place finish and will show their worth. And I'm going to give them a home win and give them a 3-1 scoreline to go with that. Second match on Sunday brings Real Madrid into the equation for the first time, and they're away at Mallorca, who finished 15th last season. Again, I've got Mallorca to be a struggling team possibly this season. There's got to be 3 in the bottom somewhere, so we've got to predict something. So I'm putting them to slide down a little bit from their 15th place finish last year. I don't think they're going to trouble Real Madrid in match 1. And I'm just going to give Real Madrid a routine 3-0 away, well, routine for them, 3-0 away win to start the season off. And it takes us to the final 2 matches on the weekend, on the first weekend. It takes us across to Monday, the 19th of August. Real Valladolid, against Espanyol. Real Valladolid were promoted, as were Espanyol, and they came through the eliminators. So 2 promoted sides here would probably want to get a point at least on the board first up, just to break the shackles, get that point, get the point early, get something on the board early. Always what promoted sides like or need to do really to start to establish themselves. So I'm going to go between these 2 teams, promoted teams, a 1 each draw. They're both takeaway. Something I'm no doubt will be satisfied with that. Finally, the last but certainly not least, we've got Villarreal against Atletico Madrid. And those of you, I'm sure, have heard that Atletico Madrid have been active in the transfer market, picking up Manchester City's Julian Alvarez for 81 million. Manchester City's biggest ever sale. So it's normally them paying big bucks for players to go to their team, to their club. But they've hauled in 81 million of Atletico Madrid's funds to secure the services of Julian Alvarez. An excellent signing for them, and perhaps a statement of intent that they do mean to do something. I've got them to split the big 2 this season between Real Madrid and Barcelona. So we shall see if that comes to fruition. But as I say, they're showing some intent in the transfer market. They finished 4th last year, so they'll certainly want to improve on that, I think, if they can. Villarreal finished a very respectable 8th, but I think Atletico Madrid, buoyed by their transfer market activity, will take the points in the final match on weekend 1 and take the points with a 2-0 win. So there we have it. 5 days of La Liga fixtures across the weekend, starting Thursday, ending on Monday, and always interesting the first games of the season to see how teams go. And then we'll have a little bit of form maybe, or certainly something to reflect on when we look at the games for the following weekend. So I hope you all enjoy the start of the season, wherever you are, whatever you're watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, press the like button as many times as you wish, get your family and friends and all that involved if you can. The channel overall, this is an excellent channel overall, and it really does need and so get the support it wants. So please help that cause, as well as hopefully giving your own thoughts to how La Liga this weekend will pan out. So that's it from me. I will be back on, I'm sure, sometime next week, reflecting on some of the highlights and lowlights maybe of what goes on this weekend, and I will see you in time for match week 2. Thanks for listening.